we know we're in hyperinflation. And I don't know if you guys have raised your prices yet, but if you don't, you're going to need to. I'll just give you all a little.
Robin, you keep talking about hyperinflation, but Zimbabwe had hyperinflation. That was 254 million%. So when you're talking about double digits, that's like, it's only 2 digits. That can't be hyperinflation.
Well, for us, we're little neophytes over here. So, this is like, this is a big deal for us. But just to give you some data, like we track the financials of a number of MSPs through with our relationship with Greg Crabtree and some of the things that we're doing with Producers Club. And what we've seen, sales in general, in the rolling 12 for most of our members is up 20%. If you look at January this year, it's up 26%. So month over month, it's like, so usually January is kind of a slow month, but it's been up 26%. We're talking 20% growth. Gross profit is down 3% across the board. And what that tells me, when you have a 20% hike in growth and a 3% drop in gross, what's happening is it's labor and the technical tools are getting more expensive. So the challenge everybody's going to have, if you guys haven't raised your prices now, you are going to have to raise your prices. I mean, because technical labor is up 15 to 18% right now. And I know everybody's dealing with that, where you either have to pay them more or they're going to get recruited away. So I want you guys to kind of answer the question, I guess, I don't think anybody on this call is the cheapest, right? But where are you relative to your competition, and how do you dealing with cheaper competitors?
So I can start it off. We're about middle of the road is usually how I tell clients. There's always you got the different groups of buyers, right? Always make sure out of the gate, you tend to get the type of clients that are similar to your style of company. I don't go after the low price buyers. They'll leave you for the next lowest price like that. So usually we'll explain that we're about middle of the road. We're not the cheapest. We're not the most expensive. But when you take the value add stuff we do for our specific target market, there's no comparing. It's just, we're absolutely the best value if they're the right candidate. And then it's my job and my team, the number one thing I train our sales team on is qualify or disqualify early and gracefully.
Yeah, I think that's important, is early on, if you can just say that person's not prepared to pay the price that you're looking for, then it's better to walk away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually had a customer say it's crazy expensive, and 6 months later they came back and signed up because they just weren't getting the service.
Yeah, we're turning away more business now that's coming in, qualifying them to make sure we're selling at the prices we need to sell. And we've increased over 25% across the past year, and we're still kind of middle to high compared to our local market. But we've learned the hard way of, selling at a lower price and then losing our ass on it later, and we just won't do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Our growth.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
Mary, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, our growth we had talk about upselling, right? And it's very hard because you're going to people, the clients this past year, that total MRR was $20,000. Okay. We had to upsell it to $60,000 of MRR. And that was hard for them to do. But also explaining to them, what's the cost of you losing your company? And so just to everybody else's point, it's the same thing with value and service. And then what tools you actually have. Like, I'm not giving you free Gmail, and I'm not giving you the free AV to protect your stuff, but walking through them, that relationship that you build, and you have to know your stuff to talk to them. That was a big thing for us. And we still, like, this year we have to raise our prices again. Like, I've already told all of our clients, and they're like, it's fine. We understand it's coming, and that goes to relationship, but it's hard. That's a really hard conversation to have with people.
Plus,
Yeah.
I mean, we are higher. We came at them in more of a consulting role to, like, it was just as an IT. We asked the questions of, like, where do you need help? Forget about IT. Where do you need help with? They would mention culture or other areas. So we try to find them people that would meet the needs of other areas outside of what IT, and immediately found us. They would tell us, like, you're worth every penny that we're paying you, so they appreciate the fact that we brought more than just IT to them, addressed other business issues. So
Mhm.
I totally agree as well with Brian. We are average 10% higher than our competitors. And I want to say it's not about your price. As long as you're within ballpark, 10% to me is within ballpark. It's about your presentation. It's about how they look at your company. As Brian mentioned, I don't walk in and say, how do I help you in IT? Usually my first sentence out of my mouth is, how do I make your company more money? That is how I start my conversation, my sales process. And it's no longer become an IT issue. Yeah, we'll take care of your IT. That's no problem. But how do we make you more money? That's where I start. And then price becomes irrelevant.
Very cool.
Yeah, I
All
mean,
right.
one of the things that everyone, how do you differentiate yourself when you have a competitor who's selling tools just like you? And I just like David, I get out my wallet, my driver's license, show them, it's like, great, they have a driver's license just like me. Now let me tell you what I do different than them. So like, that's one of the things you've always told us, Robin, was like, okay, so they say you have great customer service, great. They say you have great security. That's what you're saying the same things. So what do you say different that makes them go, yeah, I'm willing to spend more money with you? When they walk out of the meeting, they feel like you get them and like they really understand us. A customer will pay more if they feel like you get them. You really get them. So.
Mhm. Yep.
I think the main thing is when you're having that FTA is really getting to understand the client and actually getting to know them a lot better and how you can benefit them. And at some point, obviously, you have to have had a price conversation, but none of it is ever going to be about selling. It's really just how, find out more about them, find out more about them personally, and how you can actually come up with a better solution for them.
Yeah.
And
I would venture to say that there are a small percentage of people where they literally, like if you charge 150 a seat, they literally can't afford that. They can't write that check there. But I think that's a very small percentage. I think most price objections are really about something other than price. It's that they don't quite trust you. You didn't present well. There was somebody else who just connected with them on a deeper level. They feel more confident with, when I've done literally thousands of interviews now with people who buy managed services. So, in my research that I do, and a question I always ask is, why did you pick Roland? I'm sure there's other MSPs around here that are cheaper. You could have got it cheaper somewhere else. Was he the most expensive lead? And why did you pick him? And over again, people would say, I don't know. I think he was somewhere in the middle. This is kind of what they say. I don't even remember really. Or they'd say, no, he wasn't the cheapest, but I don't really remember where he ranked. I just felt like, and they would all say that, and they would always use those words. I felt like I could trust him. I felt like they could do the job. I felt like they were the most competent. I felt like they were the most knowledgeable. I felt like they got us the best. And so it really, when you're getting price objections, I think it's about something else. And okay, so I got to be mindful.